Today, I wanted to take a look at the Platinum 3776 Gathered, which is this sort of textured ring-shaped pen, and talk about whether I think it's worth twice the price of regular 3776. So it doesn't seem to matter where this pen is purchased. It seems like the going price is twice of whatever the 3776 is in the local market. So in Asia, where something like this is about $80 to $90, then this is somewhere between $160, $180. In the US, this is more $150, so this is closer to $300. So I guess I wanted to talk about objectively whether I think it's worth twice the price of the standard pen. So I'll talk a bit about what this pen offers, where it's different, and then hopefully answer that question. The first thing I thought is kind of interesting is I actually don't know if Platinum still does this, but previously in their special editions, they came in this horrendously ugly brown box. And that was sort of how you could see, how you could sort of tell if your 3776 was a special edition or not. It came in this like horrific looking brown box, similar to the old Sailor King of Pen brown boxes, if you guys remember that. But I thought that was kind of cool. Wanted to show it to you. I hope Platinum still does that, because I think that's kind of quirky and kind of unique. Okay, so let's take a look at the Platinum 3776 lineup. So these are the ones I have. There's actually a steel nib version of this pen, which I think is actually kind of cool. I just have never really gotten around to buying one. I think that's in Asia only. I've only seen those around Asia, and they tend to be around $60 in Asia. So figure just over $100 would be the retail in the US. And maybe I'll pick one of those up if I come across one again. They're not really easy to come by. But this is usually where the range starts off. It's usually the gold and whatever color combination, 14 karat nib. And these are basically the lower end of the 3776 lineup. Then this, the rhodium plated, I know the retail price is the same in the US. In Asia, this costs a little bit more. So same pen, just rhodium plating instead of the gold, and rhodium plated nib instead of the gold. While I don't really have a preference for the way either of these look, in my personal experience, the rhodium plating holds up a little bit nicer than the gold plating. Platinum gold plating is awful. It's really quite bad. And I made a video of the Platinum President. You can take a look at that, and I talk about the plating there as well. And then you get into what I would say are the special editions, and whether that's a special color combination, whether that's collaboration with a retailer, or something like this, which is sort of a tribute back to the first 3776 that was made back in the day with the gathered look. And these are the most expensive of the 3776 pens before you get into the Mach-E, Rodin, stuff that's really expensive. So the question is this worth twice this? From a material perspective and a feature perspective, flat out no. Similar materials, less features. This is a snap cap mechanism and not a twist cap. And because of that, you lose the slip and seal mechanism. So this nib will dry out a lot faster than something like this. Overall feel of the pen in your hand, the nib is the same. All that is all very similar. So from an objective, just how the pen writes perspective, absolutely not. It's not worth twice. So why did I buy it? Well, if you're into Platinum limited editions or special editions, you'd be hard pressed to find one that's more unique than this. Normally, when Platinum does a special edition, limited edition, it's just a color difference. Occasionally, they'll mess with things like the texture of the barrel. I forget what the last two were called. There's a purple one, that red one, but if you look those up, you can see like the texture of the barrel is different. And those pens are both more than twice the price of a regular 3776. So they're very expensive. This pen, I think, offers more in terms of uniqueness than those other special editions, and it is less expensive. So let me show you what I mean by that. The entire pen, even though it's called a 3776, the entire pen from top to bottom is different than the original. So if you just compare the caps, you will probably roll away on me. The caps are very different. They're different size. The clip, even though it looks the same, is actually a little bit different on the top. It's a jewel on the top versus whatever that is. And I mentioned earlier, this is a snap cap mechanism and not a twist. So the cap is very different. The section, completely different. I'm not a fan of the regular 3776 section. This, it's good and bad for me. I don't like the fact that it's thinner at the thinnest point than the regular 3776 section, but I like the fact that it's tapered, which this one isn't. And then the barrel, very different. You can see the length, the look, all very different. So in terms of getting a unique pen, this at twice the price will get you more uniqueness than other Platinum Special Editions. The other thing that I'll talk about with this pen, at least how it came originally, is that the nib was actually unique as well. So that you can see here, this is just a standard 14 karat fine nib. And the reason it is because I had it swapped by the retailer. So this pen came with a 14 karat fine nib that looked just like this, but the only difference, and why I say it's unique, is where it says F on this nib for fine, it had the Japanese kanji character for fine. So it was a Japanese kanji inscribed nib instead of F for fine, which I thought was really cool. Unfortunately, that nib wasn't, there must have been some sort of defect. It dug into the paper every time you made a horizontal line. And I debated for a long time whether to have it swapped. And I called the reseller who sold me this pen in Asia, and I told them about it, and they were very, very nice, very accommodating. Unfortunately, those nibs are no longer made. They swapped it for me free of charge, but this new nib is no longer unique. But my point in going into that tangent is to say that even the nib on this pen, when it was new, is unique compared to a standard 3776. So if you're just looking for writing experience, it is absolutely not worth the upgrade. A regular 3776 is a great pen. It's a great writer. Not particularly well made in my opinion, but great writer. And you're not going to get anything additional from the materials, the writing experience, the nib, by paying double the price. However, if you're someone that buys special editions from Platinum, then I think this makes a lot of sense. At twice the price of a 3776, you won't find another special edition that is this unique from all the parts of the pen, from the look, from the capping mechanism, from all of that. So from that perspective, if you're a Platinum collector, if you chase Platinum limited editions, this is a pen that you should take a look at. All right. And finally, like I said earlier, this pen doesn't have a unique Platinum nib, but I will show you how it writes. This is a Japanese fine, so you can see the line is very, very fine. This is the 3776 gathered. And excuse my messy writing, I'm trying to write sort of around the tripod. And this is a 14 karat Fine. And this is Waterman. Serenity Blue. So very nice platinum fine nib. I found platinum, especially their fine nibs, to be hit or miss. Some of them are not tuned particularly well, including the one that originally came with this pen. It was borderline unusable. But sometimes they do it quite well, and then you get a pen that is fairly nicely tuned. Definitely on the Japanese side for fine, very, very thin line, but a great writer overall. So that is the 3776 Gathered. I think it's a pretty cool special edition from Platinum compared to the others. And if you're into that type of thing, I think it's absolutely worth the price difference. All right, hope that was fun. Thank you.